Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, babies in their diapers, welcome to the Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Boy.
That's me, Tiberius. Today we're going to talk about some very awesome stuff. We have a video about boxing, a book about a dog man, and we have 2,000 guests. Today we have the one, the only, the amazing Travis McIntire. Travis is an expert in solar technology and helps people save the planet using solar power.
It's a lot of fun to do that. How are you today? Thank you for having me on your show.
Good.
I'm honored to be here. I know I met you at a home show a couple years ago, so thanks for having me back in.
You're welcome.
And love the solar business, and gosh darn, are we growing out there.
So today we're going to start off with the video of the week, and this is going to be a knockout.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
And now it's time for the video game of the week.
Today's video game is Boxing League. So this is a game on the Roblox platform. It was made by Konami. Because it is on Roblox, you ever play it on PC, Mac, Xbox, and even your cell phone. And it is free! Now, this game is not for the faint of heart. Because, well, you might be in a deep sleep again and again. And you might be punched.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep. So I enter the game, and boy, does this place look cool. Also, you walk around and you see 6 boxing rings, and then you may have some people right in them. So you can challenge someone to box you in a match. So you go down some stairs, and then you go to this white spot, and then it turns green when you walk into it. And then there's another person that stands on the other one, and then you'll get into a match. It shows what level you two are. After you win, you go again, and you might be KO'd. You have to win by getting 3 KOs on the opponent. You then level up if you win, and if you get a level 5, let's say, you might get a power-up. And if you are smart, you will check the person you are fighting both, then go into the match. You can use the power-up by pressing E when you do an uppercut. And when you run out of stamina, hold the space bar and you will gain it back. My favorite part is that I get to knock people out. Also, there are different boxing gloves that you can buy, and you can buy them with money, and you can get money from winning boxing matches. I give Boxing League 10 out of 10 stars because it is so much fun to crash into each other. Oh, yeah, I can punch someone without my mom and dad getting a call from my teacher. Over 40 years, Lighthouse Central Florida has provided education, independent life skills, and job training to thousands of Central Floridians who live with blindness or any degree of vision loss. Whether it's picking out clothes in the morning or just moving around your community and serving Orange, Seminole, and Osceola counties. Contact Lighthouse Central Florida at 407-898-2483 or visit them online at lighthousecfl.org.
The Tiberius Show would like to thank one of their dedicated sponsors, Custom Designs Orlando. These guys are on Mills Avenue and do all sorts of stuff, ranging from photo ID badges, engraved signs, custom braille ADA signs, vinyl lettering to trophies and awards. The cool part about Custom Designs is they can ship products all over the United States. You can reach them at 407-898-0373 and tell them that
Tiberius
sent you.
And now it's time for the book of the week, Dog Man. This book is written by Dave Pilkey. Lower to the back of the book. In fact, Travis, would you like to do the honors?
Oh, I would. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, kids and adults, there's a new breed of justice in town. Get ready for action, suspense, romance, and lots of laughs.
This is a great book about a dog and a man working together. They then get put together because they are both hurt badly. Oh, it's science! What? So Dogman was hired as a policeman. So then Petey, Peace, the bad guy, makes a vacuum cleaner to chase Dogman and suck him up because every single dog hates vacuum cleaners. But his butler recommended firecrackers, but he said no.
Firecrackers? That's crazy.
Yep. It was sucking up everything. So Dogman knew that Petey was afraid of water. So he aimed the vacuum to suck up the sea because he knew that he would help. So Dogman got sucked up. And is he gone forever? Petey was so scared of the water that he accidentally popped a bag full of seawater.
What?
Then he grabbed the surfboard that Dogman was on to save himself. And then he had one word to say to him. And the word was rats. Because Dogman was there to put cuffs on him.
Uh-oh.
Because, he was a bad guy.
Yeah, gotta go to jail.
So then Petey goes to jail 8 times.
What?
And guess what?
What?
He escaped 8 times.
How in the world did he do that?
Then he escaped another time. And then the chief of police got fired.
Uh-oh.
And then he got replaced by a robot. Then there were rotten stores that Petey did not like because it was going into his territory. So Petey taunted the robot chief to trick him into attacking him while in the stores that he did not like. And then, well, you're going to have to read the book, guys.
You should.
I give Dogman 10 out of 10 stars because I really like the story and it was so good. And I will be sure to go ahead and read the other books. See David Smith Law.com.
You can call him at 407-801-2667.
Wait, you are not Chuck.
My dad can help when people get hurt. He loves to help people.
If you are ever injured at work or in a car accident, you should call my friend Chuck.
You can call him at 407-801-2667.
The website again is cwsmithlaw.com.
Offices, Orlando.
Does it actually have that much W's?
Mid-State Fire has been providing top-quality fire equipment services for 3 generations to the Central Florida area. Don't wait for an emergency to repair. Call Mid-State Fire today at 407-246-8855. Get your fire extinguishers and emergency lighting for both your home and businesses by visiting www.midstatefire.com. That number again is 407-246-8855. And now it's time for the interview of an interesting person. Today's just going to be so much fun. Today we have the one, the only, the amazing Travis McIntire. Travis is an expert in solar technology and helps people save the planet using solar power.
I do, and it's an honor to do that. I mean, I used to do custom remodeling where I had granite countertops, and we were kind of taking some chunks out of the mountains. So then I realized after seeing this big pile of wood, they come from Brazil, this comes from the gosh darn rainforest. And I was like, I don't want to do that anymore. So a buddy of mine talked to me and said, hey man, why don't you check out solar? It's a growing industry, didn't know anything about it, and I just had a gut feeling, and I went for it. So my first couple weeks were a little tough, then I started learning about how to help people and how much helping people helps save the environment as well. Because when you sell solar, not only do you help people save money, you help the world be a cleaner place. So it's kind of a win-win situation.
So first off, how are you enjoying being on the show?
I love being on the show. You're a lot of fun. I love talking to you at the home show, and I just think you're a neat kid, and you got a lot going on, and I'm honored to be here. I appreciate it.
So you have been in the solar business for just over 3 years. What got you interested in solar?
It was an interest in saving the planet, and I always thought that rich people wanted solar, that only rich people wanted solar. But if you drive by Tropicana Field on 275, there's a small greenhouse on the right-hand side that's got a whole solar system. And when I was doing my tile route, I would always pass that, and I thought, gosh darn it, no one around these people have solar, and look at that house. It's not a mansion, but they still have solar. And that's what got me thinking solar can be for everybody. And now that I sell it, it is for everybody. They just have to realize it.
You just have to realize it. Okay, so how will solar save the planet?
That's a great question. And it's called carbon footprint reduction. When you have coal and you have oil and you have natural gas, they put off chemicals in the air whenever you burn them. And the thing with solar, it's called renewable energy. Every time the sun rises in the sky in the morning, you have a brand new shot during the day of producing electricity. When you have a coal plant, you have to mine more coal in order to keep that fire going. And the responsibility of selling solar is take care of the customer, give them the right size system, and that way they'll be happy too.
So what's the best part about working in the solar business?
I would say it's being able to help people, and because being in the solar business is tough right now because a lot of people are knocking on people's doors. There's solar companies that are coming in from all over the United States. To me, the best part of being in the solar business is to represent it with honesty, ethics, and integrity, and growing solar the right way, not just in Florida, but nationwide.
Cool. Does it really save homeowners lots of money?
If the system, that's a great question. I'll answer that completely honestly. It depends on the salesperson you're talking to with their experience on how they size your system. So when you get your electricity bill, it's how much electricity that you're using. What I do is when I look at your electricity bill, I'm going to put enough panels on your roof to make sure I cover that usage. So it's a huge responsibility to make sure that the system is built right for that particular customer. That's what's hard.
Okay, so what is the hardest part about working in the solar industry?
I would say that's another great question. I would say the hardest part is overcoming the thought that solar doesn't work, and that's because there's some slick salespeople out there that only want to get a signed contract and make a payday. I represent the entire solar industry, not just Victory Solar. So when I sell a job, the hardest part for me is to make sure the customer gets what they want, and to make sure that they're comfortable with solar, understand it, and realize that a year from now, I'm still going to answer my phone and help them because I'm still their customer representative.
What is Victory Solar?
Victory Solar is a company out of Houston, Texas. Mike Budsby started Victory Solar a few years ago, and he wanted to do it on customer service. So the reason why Victory Solar came to Florida is they wanted to prove that customer service is not a lost art in the solar business. And that's why Victory Solar is growing so fast. We're a great company to work for.
That is really cool.
It is.
So my dad said solar was for rich people that could afford to pay their light bill 7 years early. Are there any programs that make it so anyone can get it for their home?
That's another awesome question, and I'm definitely glad that that question was asked. And here's why. I used to think the same thing, that solar was only for rich people. And then I realized that really the person that I help the most is someone on a budget, someone that needs to depend on a fixed payment on their electric bill, because if you have any electric service in Florida, your rate's going to go up about 3%. That's about guaranteed. 3 to 5% on average. And Duke just got approved for a $3 billion grid upgrade. So what it does for people is it gives them a fixed payment that they can depend on. And as long as the system is sized properly, it's the person that has the middle income, that's the middle-aged person, that's my favorite person to work with, because I do save them money, because Victory Solar, we size our systems right. That's what we're known for.
Wow. That is cool.
Pretty cool, huh? I'm telling you, it's a big responsibility, little brother. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, if you could teach me one thing about
Yes.
solar that most people don't know, what would it be?
I would say that it works and then it's real. And then if your system is sized right by a salesperson that wants to be a trusted advisor, and that means that they educate you and they want to find out why you want to go solar, then now we're talking about like longevity, and your loan's going to be paid off sometimes early, and you're going to get exactly what I told you that you would get. And to me, a man is only as good as his word.
Mm-hmm. So what is your greatest achievement while working with solar?
Selling a job to my wife. No. She's a toughie, man. My wife's an accountant, and she is just like, everything's on a spreadsheet. But I'm kidding, actually. What I would say my greatest accomplishment so far in solar, if you added all the systems that I've sold together, and I've sold quite a few of them over the past 3.5, almost 4 years, the carbon footprint number of the trees that the equivalent of planted, the barrels of oil that aren't being used, and gosh darn the cars off the road. I'm extremely honored that the help that I get to Mother Earth that's given me a life, that I'm going to give life back to her by taking care of this planet, and that's why I sell solar.
Okay. So who helped motivate or inspire you the most in following your dreams?
I would say my dad. My dad came from a high school, I love Michael Jordan, I love LeBron James, but they're not my hero. My dad is. He's a man that came from a broken home. He didn't have a mom and dad that really cared for him, but he stuck with life, and he worked hard, and he taught me the value of your word and how to work hard. And you'll get through anything in life if you have a good word and you work hard. There's nothing you can't do. Wow. And that's what I learned from my dad. True, and he's still alive, and thank God, because I can still say thank you for being a great dad.
What was the craziest situation that you have run into while working in solar?
I'd say the craziest situation, probably the coronavirus is what it is, because I'm doing demonstrations outside, sitting on a porch outside on a bench, or I'm in the backyard with a mask on. And I think it's just the solar business in general, they call it the solar coaster, because every day is a new adventure. So you just got to wake up in the morning and get ready. That's right, buddy.
That is true. Every day is a new adventure.
Isn't that the truth? I always say it's another day of opportunity.
Yes. yes, it is. So what about you, my listeners, if they wanted to grow up and get into the solar business?
I'd say work for victory. I'd say find you a company that you can depend on and trust. I think before you even start really looking into solar, I would just make sure that your heart's going to be in it and you have passion for it. Because if you don't have passion for it, it's hard to introduce something to somebody that's new and get them to feel your belief in it. Because otherwise you're going to think you're like every other salesperson calling or knocking on the door. So that's what I would say. Believe in it, have passion for it, and you will succeed in it.
Well, if you could go back 10 years and tell yourself something, what would it be?
If I had to go back 10 years and tell myself something, I would say stop worrying so much and just enjoy your life, because some of the stuff that I worry about 10 years ago, I still worry about today, and it still doesn't change. The only thing is I just worry more about it. So I'd go back and say, get off your own back and gosh darn enjoy today, because you never know when that's all you're going to have.
I heard that you worked with granite.
I did.
Tell me more about that.
Absolutely, little brother. I spent 18 years in the custom remodel business, so when you'd come in, and it was really fun selling granite. I do like selling solar a little bit better, but granite was fun because you would come to see me, and the same thing with solar. You would depend on what I would tell you. You would depend on how the process went, on how I would basically explain it to you. And then to watch somebody come into their dream kitchen, and they come around the corner, and they see their kitchen, they're like, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. That made my day. Now, unfortunately, when people get their electric bill, they don't get quite as excited, unless they're an accountant. But granite was a little bit funner in some ways because you got to see the reaction of before and after. With solar, you renegotiate your power bill, so it's not quite as fun, but it's still pretty rewarding.
So what is more fun, solar or granite?
Oh, I'm going to say solar because there's so much opportunity. It's growing like crazy. It's a business that just got off the board.
I thought you were going to say granite.
Oh, I was close, but I really love solar, and I have a passion for it. And I'm 51 years old, and I will retire doing solar and helping this world be a better place.
Wow. So when you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? Did you always know that you were going to be working on saving the planet?
I really didn't know, but I didn't really find out until I was in the Air Force, and then I was like, what do I want to do? And I was a law enforcement officer, and I didn't like being a cop, and I wanted to be a salesperson because I really like people, and I love dealing with people. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go into sales, and that's when I made my career choice.
Well, if you could do any other job that you are not already doing, what would it be?
I would say helping animals. I would want to be either like a veterinarian or I would be like an animal rescuer. I love animals, buddy. I love them. I would save birds and dogs and cats and lizards and snakes. I would save everything because I just love animals. I'm the guy running across the street. I'd save fish too. That's right, off the scale, but I would do it. I would do it. I promise.
What about dragons or unicorns?
Oh, now dragons scare me. Unicorns would be a little bit strange. I know that I'm dreaming then.
Well, what is the biggest mistake you ever made, and how did it change you as a person?
One of the biggest mistakes that I ever made, I would say when I was younger, I've made a lot of big mistakes there, Mr. Tiberius. I would say it was not continuing in the Air Force and being I can't say that's really not true. Gosh, I've learned so much from my mistakes. That's really a hard question to answer, bud. To be honest with you got to stump me there a little bit. I would say one of the biggest mistakes I ever made, not to be too personal, is I married somebody that I shouldn't have. And that was like 30 years ago, but shouldn't have done that. That was probably how it changed me is that whenever she and I split up, and then I met the love of my life and my best friend ever, and it brought Meg, my wife Meg McIntire, into my life, and it changed it forever in such a positive, amazing way. I'm very grateful.
So when you're not working setting people up with solar, what do you do for fun?
A couple things. I appreciate you asking that. I love to lift weights. I like to train, cross-train. I do Tough Mudders and Spartan races and, those crazy obstacle course races. I love doing those. I'm a second-degree black belt in Toshindo, which is a Japanese ninjutsu. I don't train with a dojo, but I still train. A lot of fun.
Well, do you play video games, and what is your favorite one?
I love playing video games. Probably the last one was, believe it or not, Punch-Out. That's an old one, but I love playing that game. And I like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. That's one of my favorites. And I love Donkey Kong, which is fun.
Yeah.
I like the old games, man. I love Tetris. That's always a lot of fun. I do like playing that.
Wait. Okay, so what is your favorite book to read?
My favorite book? I've got a bunch of them, man, to be honest. That's another tough question. I like a book from Eckhart Tolle called A New Earth. And I know that's a little bit deep, but he talks about how ego, how a person's ego, you know how that goes, is like gets in their way. And it kind of teaches you how to get out of your own way so you can get forward a little bit more in life. And that's what I like.
Okay.
All right, what
Can
you
you
got?
tell me that one story? Remember, this is a kid show. But that one story, well, that you're not supposed to tell me about. You can tell me.
A tour I'm not supposed to tell you about. I would say I've got a little bit of a belly because I like to drink a couple beers at night. And my wife gets on my butt and says, every time you drink 2 beers, you eat 2 pieces of bread. So that's my problem because now I'm not able to don't drink beer. Now I don't eat bread. So now I got to lose some weight. So I'm a little bit embarrassed, but I'm a little tubby right now. Yeah. I've got Burger King, Culver's, McDonald's. I've got them all over me. There's my embarrassing story. I eat too much fast food.
But it is good, though.
Oh, gosh darn, it's good. I'm telling you. Yeah, especially Culver's fries. Love them.
But is there anything I should think my listeners should know about you?
I would say that through the hard way, you learn about how important honesty, ethics, and integrity is. And if you really want to be valued in life, it's not about your watch. It's not about your Porsche. It's not about your big fancy house. It's about your word inside your heart that no one can see but you. And when you have a good word, you're a valuable person no matter who you are. You have value because people can believe in what you say. And if you really want to be valuable, have a good word, and then you're worth your weight in gold. That's how I truly feel.
Okay. Yeah. Well, do you have a website or Facebook for my listeners that want to follow you?
Yeah, I got a Facebook, absolutely. I don't have a website yet. I was going to do a podcast, eventually on solar because my passion's so great for it. But yeah, not yet, but I will. Yeah, it's a good question, buddy.
Okay. So what is that one question that you think I forgot to ask you?
I would say, when are you going to go to McDonald's and get me some fries?
Well,
I don't see you leaving.
Get me some McDonald's fries.
I say it about what time is it? Yeah, that's funny, man. No, I think you did a really good job today. I think it's really fun talking to you as always, and I think you're on the right track for some really cool things in your life, buddy. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Travis, for helping us out.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me here today. I appreciate it.
You are welcome.
Yeah. Go Victory Solar. Yeah.
Aw, Dad, my computer's slow again and I can't play my games.
Call Your Computer Solutions today, and we will scan for viruses and clean that computer up remotely and make it fast again. Our phone number is 407-826-0810.
Thanks, Dad. My computer's fast again. Now I can do my homework. Thanks for calling Your Computer Solutions at 407-826-0810. The Tiberius Show would like to thank Boggy Creek Airboat Adventures for being one of our sponsors. I got to go on an airboat and saw a real gator. I even got to go to the gem mine and mine for some gems. We ate a steak dinner at the restaurant and even got some gator bites. If you want to have a blast with the entire family, I suggest you go to www.bcairboats.com right now. Get your tickets today. The website again is bcairboats.com. Oak Ridge Gun Range is a family-oriented shooting range that has been in business for over 30 years. They specialize in basic firearm training and offer numerous services such as consignments, gun trades, gunsmithing, and concealed weapon classes. I even got my training for gun safety at Oak Ridge Gun Range. Great customer service, and firearm safety is what they do best. So find out more at oakridgegunrange.com.
Tiberius' favorite subject, it's Math Corners.
Thank Thank you so much, Travis, for helping me with Math Corners.
My
Today, we're going to talk about the area of a solar panel.
Ah, got it. All right, let's do it.
So we are back in school and talking about the area of a rectangle.
Okay.
So I know what is a rectangle. Solar panels!
That's right. That's right.
So let's figure out the area of a solar panel.
Okay, let's do
say
it.
we have a solar panel that is 5 by 8 foot. In
Okay.
order to find the area of the
Yep.
solar panel, then you multiply 5 by 8, which is 40. And then you have to add the unit. The unit is square feet. So the answer is 40 square feet.
That's right.
Now, I know you. What are you thinking, Travis? No one just buys only one panel.
No, they don't.
No. They're just so shiny. They have to be a group.
That's right.
So what if you have 8 of the same panels on your roof? What would be the area of all the panels be?
320 square feet, my friend. That brings back the granite
Well-
memories they're measuring.
We already know that one panel is 40 square feet,
Yeah.
so you can take that out and multiply it by the number of panels on the roof.
That's right.
What was that again?
Yeah.
8, right?
Yeah.
So you have 40 times 8, and 8 times 4, carry the 3, you get 320 square feet.
That's right.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
So Travis, do you now know all about how to calculate the area?
Of the solar panel, I can help you with that. Yep, they're 3.5 by 5.5 feet. That's how big they are. So that might throw you off a little bit. Well, let's go 3 by 5. If you go 3 feet by 5 feet, each panel will be
15 square feet.
Good job. Now, here's I'm going to throw a little bit back to you with math. Each panel is 320 watts. That's how we figure solar out as far as how much that you use. Because like if you have a 100-watt light bulb, you got to have wattage on the roof to take care of that. So that's how we figure wattage. So 10 panels would be 3,200 watts, which is a 3.2 kilowatt system.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
I know.
So thank you so much, Travis, for your help with math.
I love it. My pleasure, my friend. Good job.
And now it's time for Heart of a Lion. We at the Tiberius Show like living with the heart of a lion. Living with the heart of a lion stands for leadership, integrity, obedience, and nobility.
This week, we're going to talk about obedience.
Okay.
For me, I think obedience is being fully committed to doing what is pleasing to God.
Mm-hmm.
The qualities of obedience are compliance with a good attitude and respect for the laws. You know when someone is obedient when they follow instructions willingly and thoroughly. So this week, I've been working on obedience.
Okay.
I am learning to listen to my teachers and to offer to help with a smile on my face. I am working on things like helping hold the door for students and help clean up the room after class.
Awesome.
And the important part is not just helping, but doing it with a good attitude. This is very important. Obedience is not just doing what is right, but wanting to do what is right and also not complaining about it.
I agree 100%, buddy.
Travis, did you see or use obedience at all this week?
I must confess I did. I tell you what I try to do. Every day I try to make it, not just by selling solar to make it a better planet, but by making it a cleaner planet. So if I'm going to the gas station like I did yesterday, and there was 2 pieces of trash by the trash can, I simply reached down, I picked those up, they were safe, and I put them in the trash can. And I do that every single day. I try to make it a cleaner world by picking up a piece of trash, or I do something for somebody like a neighbor. I'll pull their trash can up to the house. They don't know I did it, but I know that I did. So I try to do that every day. Make it a cleaner place and make it a kinder place is what I do. That's how I use obedience. Yeah.
Well, of all of the Heart of a Lion virtues, which is your favorite?
I would say I'd say obedience, man, because you have to be obedient to your own word, to God's word, and to your fellow man, and to help them. So that's what I would say. It's a good question.
Well, but we should always try to be lion strong in everything we do. Shouldn't we, Travis?
We should, because we need to be kind. Kindness to the meanest and strongest to the weakest is one of my favorite things that I say. And simply because if you have a heart of a lion, you should be gentle and help people. You don't need to think you're like being a black belt. If I use my hands in these, then I didn't use this. If I used my head, I won't use my hands. And that to me is walking away is true strength. It's hard to do, but then you know that you're really where you want to be.
But it's true intelligence.
Yeah, I hope so. My wife argues with me having true intelligence, but that's okay.
Intelligence Day. And that's our show, folks. I want to thank the one, the only, the amazing Travis McIntire. McIntire, for being on my show.
Been an honor, little brother. Appreciate you very, very much, man.
It has been so much fun talking with you today. And maybe one day I can see some of your panels on my roof.
I'd love to help you save some money.
And
That's
maybe
right.
on this building's roof.
That'd be great, too. Every little bit counts.
And be sure to listen to us next week on the Tiberius Show. There's Tiberius Boy!
The Tiberius Show is not filmed in front of a live studio audience. Executive producer Joseph Boyd. Production editor Pierre Laguerre. Green Room manager Danny Boyd. And your program host, Tiberius Boy. The Tiberius Show is copyright 2018.